What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of the Narcissistic Code. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy like myself, and also validate the victims, survivors, and thrivers of said disorder, said toxic people, said toxic traits. Today's episode is going to be about why don't narcissists like to talk about their feelings? Why do narcissists keep their feelings to themselves? Why don't they like to voice their feelings and whatnot, y'all? Before we hop into today's episode, make sure y'all hop over to Amazon, check out my new book. Remember, it's not your fault. It's a kid's book designed to help kids understand it. It's not their fault being raised in toxic households, and not to take blame for what their parents do to them or say to them. It's available on Amazon. If you already got the book, thank you so much. Hit that 5 stars for me on Amazon. Thank you. But yeah, why don't narcissists like to talk about their feelings? The simplest, easiest, not easiest, the simplest thing to say is that narcissistic people, a lot of them, view expressing your feelings as a sign of weakness. Vulnerability is weakness. So it's talking about my feelings, telling you how I feel, telling you what's going on inside of my head feels like weakness, and I don't want to seem weak. A lot of narcissistic people don't want to seem weak. A lot of narcissistic people are typically going to appear shut off to you emotionally. They're going to be emotionally shut off to you to the point where it's hard to communicate with somebody. It's hard to communicate with a narcissist or toxic person or whoever that is emotionally shut off, that has shut down their emotions and doesn't communicate with you in a healthy way at all. And it happens a lot when you're dealing with people in this type of relationship, because they see it as weakness, and I don't want to appear weak. I like, something happened to a lot of narcissists in their childhood that made them emotionally walled up. Like, they made them wall up their emotions and build like a moat and a 17-foot high wall around their emotions and vulnerability. Something happened to them. Something happened to us. You know what I mean? Me personally, in my journey, I've been emotionally neglected by my father in my youth. My mom, she worked, so she was there for us. She provided for us and whatnot, but she worked. She wasn't able to be there emotionally a lot for us as well. So we kind of became emotionally walled up, emotionally shut off. So it's tough dealing with that and trying to, deconstruct that as a 38-year-old adult. I wish I was 30. It's hard to deconstruct that and see where a lot of things are coming from, see where a lot of people are coming from in this space and whatnot. So if you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person or whoever, this is part of right here, y'all. This is part of the dynamic that a lot of people face. Is it like, because I got hurt in my childhood expressing my emotions, I don't express them well in my adulthood. I don't know how to express them in my adulthood. I don't know, because I'm afraid. There's a fear behind it, y'all. It does boil down to being afraid of expressing yourself, because if you're afraid to look weak, you're afraid to be weak, and you're afraid that if you express yourself to the wrong person, if you open yourself up to the wrong person, if you let down your walls and let's build a bridge across that emotional moat, then that person can hurt you. So that's why a lot of times the closer you get to a narcissist, the more you get hurt. It's just kind of like the closer you get, the closer you get to them, the worst version of them you tend to get. The closer you get to me, the worse I'm going to be. The closer the more you encroach upon my vulnerability, the worse I'm going to be. Like I said, they're not always going to be, and this is a space, they're not always going to be 100% emotionally shut down. There are going to be times where they're seemingly open and vulnerable to you. And a lot of those times happen when they've had they're under the influence of something. They might have smoked something or had a couple of drinks or whatever, and now they're cool, and now their vulnerability is out to the alcohol or the drugs or whatever. Let the wall come down a little bit so they can peek their eyes over that 17-foot high wall now. So it's kind of like they let their guard down. The inhibitions, the defensiveness has went down a little bit. because you get a lot of narcissists. Most narcissists are narcissistically defended. So they're going to defend themselves. And I'm not saying like the narcissists don't know how to express any emotion. Narcissistic rage is a thing. You see what I'm saying? Narcissistic rage, because rage is a secondary emotion, because rage is typically masking up the primary emotion. Like rage is masking fear. Rage is masking happiness sometimes. Rage is masking something else. So rage is a secondary emotion, but it is the emotion nonetheless, from what I've seen, and rage gets the job done. Rage is easy. Rage is power. Rage is control. If I'm overly happy with you, I can't control you. But if I'm overly angry at you and raging out on you, I can control you. I can instill fear into you and whatnot. So it's not that narcissists don't know how to express any emotion. They just express the emotions that are beneficial to them. Me being vulnerable all the time isn't beneficial to me. Me being open and honest and talk about our feelings isn't beneficial to me. It actually makes me feel weak. It actually makes me feel less than, So that does happen a lot, y'all. Like I said, rage, you never heard of narcissistic happiness, have you? Have you ever seen a video somebody done on narcissistic happiness or narcissistic enjoyment? The elated narcissist. Have you ever seen a video with that title right there? No, you haven't, because they don't express those in a healthy way. They don't even express. Like a lot of narcissists don't even express happiness in a healthy way, y'all. So it's not just vulnerability and telling you how something affects them negatively. It's happiness as well. It's joy. It's excitement. It's love. It's just like it's just so emotionally defended, emotionally locked down. It's all of the emotions, y'all. All of them. And this is not me trying to make you feel sorry for a narcissistic person that you might be dealing with. This is me just trying to tell you, like, all of it, y'all. A lot of times it's these emotional states right here. It's all of it right here, y'all. It's all of it. It's all the emotions. It's all the hurt. It's all the pain. It's all the love. It's all the joy. It all comes out as rage. It's just like, and this is my therapist told me, y'all. She said, if you don't this is what she personally told me. She said, if you don't learn how to let your emotions out in a healthy way, they're going to come out as rage. Even when you are happy, you're going to be mad at yourself for not being able to express happiness, and you're going to get mad, and it's going to come out as rage. So your happiness, your original happiness, is now rage. It's now anger because you didn't express it in a healthy way. It's just like if you're on a podcast, you can't see this, but it's like if you put a beautiful butterfly in this bottle right here, y'all. If you put a beautiful butterfly in this bottle, it's a candle, but y'all get it, boy. You put a beautiful butterfly in this bottle. It can live in this bottle with the lid off of it, right? But if the butterfly is in this bottle and I close the lid up tight, I seal it. It's sealed up now, right? What's going to happen to that butterfly in a little while? Because there's no air in here. It suffocates. It dies. Just like any emotion that you don't let breathe. If you don't let your happiness breathe, you don't let your vulnerability breathe. If you don't let your sensitivities breathe, they die. And then guess what happens? The spirit is still in here. So you coming out, the spirit is angry. So it comes out when the bottle finally gets open, a lot of times by force. The bottle gets opened by force, like the lid flies off. It's now rage. You see? It's like dropping some pop rocks or Mentos in a Coca-Cola bottle and putting the lid on it real tight and shaking it up. Boom! You're gonna get a big explosion later on. You see, narcissistic people, it's just like they don't talk about their feelings because, like I'm just telling you, the more open they are, the more exposed they seem to be. They feel, the more exposed they feel. And they don't want to feel exposed. They don't want to feel like the world is out to get them. They don't want to feel like somebody's out to hurt them or just somebody's out to hurt them or get them or just take advantage of them. I'm so guarded because I don't want to be taken advantage of. I'm so guarded because I don't want to be hurt. I'm so guarded because this. I'm so guarded because that. You see what I'm saying? But if you ever dealt with a narcissist, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you've been in a relationship with one, if you're a parent, like this is even worse sometimes, y'all. If you have a parent that is narcissistic or highly narcissistic, you know exactly what I'm saying. Because if you have a narcissistic, a toxic parent, they don't know how to express their emotions to you. So your emotions are bottled up. Your emotions are walled up. So they don't even know how to express their emotions in a healthy way. And I'm just telling y'all, it sucks. Like, to have this mindset, even my own personal mindset, it sucks to not be able to express myself in a healthy way, because I'm afraid. I have this fear. I have this abject fear of being hurt. I have this abject fear of being taken advantage of. I have this abject fear of loss, of pain, of suffering. I have this abject fear. So it does happen sometimes in this space where a lot of narcissistic people experience this toxic dynamic, this toxic uniqueness, this toxic, it's just toxic overall. It really, really is, y'all. And it's hard if they don't learn how to express themselves, y'all. This is who you're going to be dealing with, y'all. Like I said, you might have brief moments of vulnerability and honesty from this person, but overall, this is who you're going to be dealing with, because why would they change their position on anything if their needs are currently being met? If their needs are being met, if their needs are currently being met, then it's going to change the position. Like, they're not going to change their thought process. They're not going to change how their life works. They're not going to change what they do and how they get away with it. Why would they? And that's not me trying to be mean. I'm just being realistic. Why would they change something that's working for them? Anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all for being here. Make sure y'all check out the kids book. Like and subscribe. Mental Illness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video, y'all. If you didn't know, we wrote a kids book called Remember It's Not Your Fault, to help kids understand that they are not in control of whatever circumstances they were born into, talk about boundaries, tell them the truth, all of that stuff, y'all. It's available on Amazon right now, or the link in my description of every single video or podcast that you listen to. Thank you so much. Remember, it's not your fault. Peace.